Well, just after we will have the game Rampage CZ from Czech Republic against FieldFighter Helsinki. Means that we will have a Czech team against Finnish team. For the history, FieldFighter Helsinki, it's a mix of different players who come from Baltic and who moved to Finland. In fact, it's only foreigners players in a Finnish team.
So there are no Finns on the Helsinki team?
No, not at all. They work. All of them work in Finland.
Okay.
But they are not from Finland.
Oh, okay. All right.
And concerning the other team, it will be Rampage. Rampage is one of the oldest Czech team. They exist since now 15 years. 15 years.
Wow.
And,
that's a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time. And they were about now there's 7 players. And there you go.
So
FieldFighters is on your right.
Yeah, so FieldFighters in the red and white jerseys on the right-hand side of your screen. And Rampage CZ, Czech Republic, they are on the left-hand side of your screen in the black jerseys. And Helsinki, looks like a penalty has been assessed on Helsinki FieldFighters. And so they get a minor penalty trying to get up in the center. And it looks like, ooh, might have been a major. I saw 2 players come off for them. So unfortunately for Helsinki, they do lose a bunch of guys on that penalty, but they still have 2 players left alive on the Dorito side and pushing forward aggressively. But Rampage CZ able to get a player into that snake, and that is countering the angles that are being that the angles that from the players on the Dorito side are able to get for FieldFighters. So the field has turned. FieldFighters better field position on the D side, but Rampage CZ has a player here in the snake all by himself, and he is really going to be able to just glide down all the way to the end of the snake and try to get a definitive angle that he can get a good shot on the Dorito side, and he does. So he's able to finally get and isolate that last, or that one of the last players, and then he's going to be able to shoot out the last player as well as in the 50-yard line. So nice job by Rampage CZ to take advantage of that major penalty.
Yeah. The best season for a Rampage, do you remember the Pro Tour? It was in Europe, just in the east of Europe. It was a tournament who stopped in 2011, if I remember. And they won. Rampage is in the Pro Division, the Pro Tour, the last one. It's there. And for Helsinki, this is a really new team. They were a Finnish champion in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Then both of them got scoring in their own country. And let's see what they're able to do for the next point.
Well, FieldFighter looked really good in that first point until that penalty struck. They had great field position in the center, but he got there with a hit on him. So penalty was pulled, referee got in there and made the call, and then that destroyed the center and the snake side, which just left the players on the Dorito side. But up until that point, I mean, they looked good, they were moving well, and everything looked like it was going pretty solid for them. But FieldFighters able to, or FieldFighters just not able to get it done, and so that first point going to go to Rampage.
Yeah.
And Rampage, the player in the snake, he looked pretty solid too.
Yeah.
So these teams have 2 minutes to reset to come out and play this next point. And we have the same types of penalties here in the divisional ranks as we do in the PSP division. So essentially when a penalty is assessed in the pros, you have to go to the penalty box and stay there 1 minute for minor penalties, 2 minutes for major penalties. But in the divisional ranks, it's just 1-for-1s and 2-for-1s. So if you get a minor penalty, it's a 1-for-1. You and your buddy are coming off. And if it's a major, it's going to be you and 2 of your buddies. And unfortunately for them on that last one, it was a major, and then that decimated the center and the snake side. So FieldFighters going to have to play clean here to try to have a chance, get back in this match, in this race to 4 points. They're down 1-0 right now against Rampage CZ.
Once again, we spoke about the Russian school. 3 of the players from FieldFighter Helsinki come from Moscow. And once again, Russian school, Russian style.
It's again, there's these hotbeds for paintball all around the world. California is one of them, Texas is one of them, and you have these, and Russia is one of them, and you have these, and France is becoming one, and you have these places where you have a lot of hard-hitting paintball players and good teams, and the skills that they are able to teach the next generation, it percolates out to the countries and the states that surround those areas.
And for the moment, Helsinki just five player alive. Oh no, just lose. I will stop to say 5 player alive because just after one last. Okay, our Rampage is.
So Rampage is now feeling the full force of the FieldFighters. So the FieldFighters
Towel from Rampage. Really quickly points from Helsinki.
But that's what I was thinking, man. Is Terry, when we watched that first point, the FieldFighters played. They looked awesome. They had good. They were playing way more aggressive than almost every team we've seen out here. These big, huge moves that they're making, pretty much like almost off the break. And if they didn't have that penalty, it was looking really solid for them that first point. So now they come out and play clean, don't have a penalty, and demolish Rampage CZ. So CZ, Rampage, they're going to have to, figure out, okay, look, this is 2 points in a row and we got to gift that first point, which we took full advantage of. But we can't let these guys make these big, huge moves. I mean, this is a field where you can definitely shoot a lot of guys off the break, and they need to focus a little bit more on that because they can't let the FieldFighters just be running all the way to the Dorito 50 pretty much, 10 seconds into the point and letting guys just run constantly to the 50-yard line in the center. There's a couple ways you can combat that. Well, with the center, it's really going to be tough to shoot that guy off the break because he has that big center structure, that big bunker to block out those streams of paintballs as he runs up. So you either have to have a guy run out wide shooting in, or you send your own guy up to the center and just have that guy bunker him out. Those are your options. So let's see what Rampage is actually going to do here because I really feel that at least, even though the score is 1-1, right now, FieldFighter, they look like the better team.
Yeah, they look like more solid for the moment.
Yes, they look much more solid. Their game plans look a little bit more developed, and their shots look like a little bit more crisp. But we will see as things develop here in this race to 4 points.
So here we go.
All right, just about 10 seconds before the start of this next point. There's the FieldFighters on the left-hand side and a big window right there. And Rampage CZ on the right-hand side. FieldFighters in the red and white. Ooh, getting a bad start. FieldFighters, but still, oh no, yeah, and so that is going to cost, bad start is going to cost FieldFighters a body. You want to anticipate the horn, but you don't want to jump the gun. So FieldFighters down now, down a body. And Rampage throws a body away, but that's okay. And if you get shot trying to make moves, that's going to happen. But at least they tried to get out wide. The rest of the guys are going to have to try to make it happen for Rampage. Rampage only one body here on the snake side of the field. They have a good position, though, in the center with their player trying to lock down the drill side of the field. Oh, and FieldFighters losing a body out of that center, too. So just one player left alive for FieldFighters at the stand-up temple here on the snake side of the field. And you can tell by his body language that he wants to move. He wants to move up the field, but he's going to have to do a double take over here and realize that he doesn't have a lot of bodies to work with. It's just him, and if he dies on this side, that's going to do it. But he's able to get a kill. So FieldFighters makes a move up into the Dorito, and he gets a shot on the CZ player. And then he throws his body away. No, actually, he's still alive. Craziness is developing over here.
Oh, and he killed the guy.
My God. So, Terry, the FieldFighter player ran past the Rampage player. Rampage player didn't even see him. Has to turn his gun around, shoot the Rampage player in the back, but then he dies. So complete chaos reigns out here. And I believe is it one-on-one right now?
Towel against from the Rampage.
So Rampage is going to concede the point.
Yeah.
They're going to be forced to surrender that particular point, and here come FieldFighters. The FieldFighters playing hyper aggressive, man. I really like what it's very entertaining paintball we're seeing from FieldFighter. as they go up 2-1 right now after that first point. So really the only thing that's stopped FieldFighter Helsinki is that major penalty that was assessed, and that was the only reason that Rampage CZ was able to take that first point. And Rampage is just getting beat to the punch right now. They are not able to, even though they are playing, they definitely tried to play aggressive. Yeah. They were making moves up the Dorito side. They made moves up in the center, but they dropped those lanes. And you know, it's not just about aggression. You have to make those moves, but you still have to do